I love free motion quilting, and I encourage everyone who is learning free motion quilting to make samples. But that does kind of leave a problem of a lot of samples laying around. So I have things like this that just kind of accumulate in my room, and they're lovely. So I think maybe we should do something with them today. If you don't have quilted samples laying around or an old quilt you want to repurpose, this is also a great way to use up orphan blocks. You can kind of stitch them together to get the size that you need to make a pillow, quilt it, and then you're ready to go. The first thing we need to do is measure the pillow insert that you want to use to make your pillow cover. You can kind of stretch the side seam and lay it against a table. Your cutting mat works great. Once you've measured your pillow, you are ready to tackle cutting your sample up. Now, my pillow's measured 18 inches, so I'm going to add 1 inch to those measurements for all my seam allowances. So I'll be cutting 19-inch squares from my finished fabric. I have my 19-inch squares all cut, and now I need to take a moment to deal with these raw edges. Now, if you have a serger, then you can just serge around the edges. You don't want to cut any off with your serger, but you just want to use the needles to encapsulate the edges. If you do not have a serger, then you can use one of these. This is an overcast foot, and the little wires on this foot kind of hold the thread on your regular machine and help it kind of wrap around the edge of your work. It just slides right along the edge as you sew and will help your regular machine do most of the job of serger. Look in your manual, you will likely have a special overcast stitch to use with this kind of foot. If you don't have this kind of foot, then you can just do a simple zigzag. Just let your needle on the right side drop off the edge of your work, and that will kind of also wrap the thread around those edges. If you have a straight stitch only machine like I do with my Juki here, then you can just run a few lines of stitching around the edges of your work. We have a 1/2 inch seam allowance built into this pillow, so just run 2 or 3 lines of stitching within that 1/2 inch seam allowance. I have a serger behind me, so I'm going to take the easy route and just serge around the edges. So I'll be right back. My edges have been serged and are nice and protected. So now it's time to put our zipper in. So I have my 2 pieces right side together, and this is going to end up being the zipper side of my pillowcase. We are going to measure in from the edges. So like this is going to be the zipper right here. Eventually we'll put the zipper right here. So we need to measure in about 3 inches from the side and make a mark. Now this is the inside of your pillow, so you can use a marker that you are a little less confident in. This is my friction pen. It's what I use to mark seam allowances, cut lines, that kind of stuff that I know won't show up on the surface of my quilt. For here, it's great because if someone opens up your zipper pillowcases and judges you based on the interior, then they are not your friend anyway. So just use what's easy. You can use whatever pen or pencil you have laying around. So I have marked these lines 3 inches in from the edges of our pillow. And now it's time to sew. Okay, I'm ready to sew from the edge of my pillow to this 3 inch line that we made. Okay, once I get here, I'm going to backstitch. And now I am going to cut my thread. And then I am going to start again in that same spot. And you'll see why we're going to cut the thread in a later step. But cutting it here just kind of makes a future step a little easier. So now that I am at this line, I am going to turn my machine up to a basting stitch length. And we are going to baste until we hit the other 3 inch line. There's no need to backstitch here, we're just basting. Okay, I've made it to my other line. I'm going to cut and then reposition and turn my stitch length back down to that 2.5. And I'm just going to stitch to the corner. back stitching. So now I have the side of my pillow stitched, and it is securely stitched for the first and last 3 inches of the seam, and the rest of it from here to here is just loosely basted, just to hold the layers together while we install the zipper. So the next thing we need to do is press the seam allowance open, and yes, it has to be open. So let's talk zippers. You can use any color zipper you like, obviously. Now I am working with this kind of green, lovely fabric, but I have chosen a purple contrast zipper. You can certainly use a matching zipper if you like, but I like a fun contrasting zipper. It's kind of like a hidden surprise. And I also thought it would be easier for you guys to see. Now you need a zipper that is at least as long as that space between those markings that we did. Remember, we measured in 3 inches from each side, and the zipper needs to be at least this long. Now mine is obviously longer. You can absolutely use a longer zipper, but you can't use a shorter zipper unless you bring these lines in a little bit, but then it's going to be hard to get your pillow insert into this pillow cover. Before we begin inserting the zipper, we need to trim it down to size. So you can measure, or you can just lay it down next to your markings that you've already measured and just transfer the markings over to your zipper tape. So I'm just gonna draw that right there, and then I'm just going to make sure that I hold this in place and transfer the markings down here. Now there is a zipper stop at the end of this zipper, but it is metal, and just on the off chance that my needle might hit it, I always make a new zipper stop with thread and then cut this metal piece off, just so I don't take any chances hitting this with my machine needle. So the markings that we just transferred to the zipper tape are the exact length of our zipper opening, and just for a little bit of security, we are going to make our new zipper stops about 1/2 inch to 1 inch outside of these lines. So we're going to do the side that has the metal zipper stop on it first. And we're going to go 1/2 inch or so to the outside of that, so closer to the end of the zipper. And go back and forth those zipper teeth a couple of times. And that just gives us a brand new zipper stop to work with. And now we can cut all of this excess off. Now to do the other side, you need to make sure that the zipper head is inside of where you're going to make your new zipper stop, or you're going to cut your zipper head off and you will have ruined your zipper. So don't do that, because that is like the path of sadness, and I've been there and it's not fun. So what you can do, you can bring your zipper head kind of close, and then you're just going to kind of pinch the teeth of the zipper together, and again go 1/2 inch on the outside close to the end of the tape, and just kind of pinch it together. And again, we just cut off the excess. Now this is a plastic coil zipper. The teeth on this are plastic, so your machine can sew through this without breaking a needle or causing any damage. If you have a zipper that has metal teeth, there's a whole different process that you need to use. You need to remove the teeth. It's just a lot more advanced. If you want to hear a little bit more about using metal teeth, then Sarah Lawson from Sew Sweetness has a lot of information on her YouTube channel and on her website. She sews zippers all the time, so I recommend checking her out for a little bit more advanced zippering. But I take the easy way, just use a plastic coil, and I've never broken a needle or had any trouble with sewing over these zippers, but just take it slow, be careful. If you need to hand crank your machine, then do that. Now that we have our zipper trimmed to size and our seam allowance pressed open, we can finally attach our zipper. Now we will be placing the zipper face down on this open seam allowance, aligning the marks to the 3-inch mark on our inside of our pillow. To hold this in place while we sew, you can either hand baste it or you can use this Dritz Wash Away Wonder Tape. And this stuff is awesome. It's just a double-sided sticky tape that I always use to hold zippers in place when I'm sewing. It's also great for attaching sleeves to quilts, or just there's a million uses for this stuff. So I am going to lay a line of this tape along each side of this zipper. This stuff comes on these giant rolls and it's relatively inexpensive. I will have a link to my Amazon page where I have links to all of kind of these little notions and stuff that I use. So if you're looking for it, you can find it there. So now that I have this attached here, I'm just gonna kind of push it down, make sure it's really stuck on there, and then I'm gonna remove this white backing. So make sure your zipper is a little bit open and that the tab is towards the opening so that you'll be able to reach in and move it a little bit easier. So I'm going to kind of look as I'm laying this down. I'm making sure that those lines that I drew on my zipper tape are aligning closely to the lines on my pillow here. And I'm just gonna work this along, tacking my zipper tape down to that nice flat open seam allowance. And you just want to make sure that the zipper teeth are aligned right over that seam that we sewed. We are finally ready to sew our zipper in. I have taken just a second to switch out to my zipper foot. If you have one, I highly recommend it. It will allow you to stitch a little bit closer to the zipper teeth and will just make it go a lot more smoothly. So if you have one, swap it out. If you don't, then just stitch as carefully as you can. This is a pillow after all. Don't worry too much about it. So this is the edge of our zipper. This is our zipper head. We don't want to stitch next to it. I'm going to start kind of down here. And I'm just going to kind of center the center of my zipper foot in the middle of my zipper. Now you might be able to see the line here. This is that 3-inch line that we drew. I'm just going to transfer that to the back of the zipper tape before I get too close. So we are going to stitch down the side of the tape, turn and stitch across the line here, and then start going the other way. Okay, now that I've gotten to here, I'm going to pull the head of the zipper up past the foot of the machine. And if you need to raise your foot to kind of fit it past, this is the most awkward part of doing this. So now that we're past that, we're gonna finish sewing the zipper tape down. Okay, we're approaching the other side and I can see my line here. I'm just gonna, again, just transfer it to my tape so I don't stitch beyond it. I am back stitching across the teeth of the zipper just as a little added security. So our zipper is all stitched and let's see what it looks like from the other side. That doesn't look bad at all. So I know what you're thinking right now, but Megan, I can't even see my zipper. Okay, so you are gonna need a seam ripper for this next part. And do I have one? I do not. Where is my seam ripper? There it is. It's all the way under my table. So this seam is just basted together. Remember, we took those really long stitches. So take your seam ripper and just stick the ball kind of end down and it will kind of fall into that seam. And then just get a couple of stitches open and you will see how it just kind of comes right apart and exposes your zipper. And this is why we cut our thread at the beginning and end of those basting stitches so that we could pull the whole length of thread out and not have like a little random bit stuck in here. So once you go in one direction, you can flip it around for ease and open it up the other way. And just go carefully. You obviously don't want to cut any of the fabric here by the zipper that we've worked so hard to sew. So you can pull all those little threads or use a little lint roller. But now look, our zipper is perfect. So there we go, our zipper is installed and it looks awesome and it fully functions. And now we are going to finish the other sides of our pillow. So be sure to open your zipper. Don't make that mistake. Leave your zipper wide open. And then bring the right sides of the pillow together, just like that. And now all we're gonna do is sew all the way around here with a 1/2 inch seam. I am going to use some Wonder Clips just to prevent any shifting as I sew this together. So we are almost done. There's just one more thing I want to do before we turn this right side out, and that is give a little bit of extra strength to these corners. Now, I just sewed and then rotated the whole thing and then sewed down the next side, but what I want to do now is actually stitch a diagonal line back and forth to really reinforce that corner, and I'm going to do that at all of the corners. And that just gives us a little bit of added strength. We are in the next step going to turn this inside out, or right side out, and kind of poke at those corners to make them nice and square. And if we just have one little stitch there, then it might pop. So this just gives us that little bit of insurance. So now that we have that kind of insurance line of stitching, I am just gonna cut our corner about 1/8 of an inch beyond that stitching line. And I'm gonna do that on all the corners. And we're done. Now we just need to turn it right side out. My pillow is all done and it looks amazing. I loved this kind of feather experiment panel that I did, and it was originally going to be a table runner, but it was just way too soft and cuddly to be a table runner. So I'm so glad that I made this little pillow out of it. I will be back next week with another tutorial. In the meantime, there are some more videos popping up if you just can't wait till next Tuesday. I hope you guys have an amazing week. Happy quilting! Once you've measured, oh, la la la. Whew. Beep beep.